So are you doing a suspense movie about the Super Bowl? How can you mention the Super Bowl without mentioning the Super Bowl? And he did this and this flop, which I think basically is one of the worst movies Charlton Heston ever did. It barely got made its money back at the box office. And today we're talking about, well, there should have been a 2 hour warning. It was called 2 minute warning. Now, it came out in 1976. The action thriller was directed by Larry Pierce and starred Charlton Heston, John Cassavetes, Martin Balsam, Bo Bridges, Jack Klugman, Gina Rollins, and David Jansen. A tremendous cast, but went nowhere. It was based on a novel of the same name written by George LaFontaine, not LaFontaine. The film was nominated for Academy Award for Best Film Editing. Now, in this one, an unknown sniper, played by Warren Miller, positioned himself at the LA Memorial Coliseum before a pro football title game dubbed Championship X between Baltimore and LA, similar to the Super Bowl. He is spotted by a Goodyear blimp camera. Police and SWAT teams are immediately called in by the stadium manager, Sam McKeever, played by Martin Balsam. Now, Police Captain Peter Hawley, played by Heston, working with the SWAT team Sergeant Chris Button, played by John Cassavetes. I think it was slumming to get money for his better productions, devises a plan to capture the sniper for the conclusion of the game. Now, many defense attending the game were introduced. They include Steve and Janet, played by David Jansen and Gina Rollins, an argumentative middle-aged couple. Stu Sandman, played by Jack Klugman, a gambling addict. A Catholic priest, played by Mitchell Ryan, who was a friend of quarterback Charlie Tyler, the great CFL and NFL star Joe Cap. Young married couple Mike and Peggy Ramsley, played by Bo Bridges and the luminous Pamela Bellwood. An elderly pickpocket, played by Walter Pigeon, and his young accomplice Julie Bridges, the then wife of Bo Bridges, and of course football fan Al David Groh of Rhoda and General Hospital fame. And of course, David Groh's character begins flirting with Lucy, played by Marilyn Hassett, who when he notices her date, John Corcus, is more interested in the game than in her. Now, the stadium's maintenance director, played by Brock Peters, discovers the sniper's presence and attempts to confront him. The sniper strikes Paul with the butt of his rifle in, undetected by fans, causes him to fall several stories, leaving him severely injured. SWAT team members position themselves on the stadium light towers to take aim on the sniper's nest. The sniper kills two of the SWAT's marksmen, but a third one coolly waits for a clear shot and hits the sniper's arm and neck area, seriously injuring him but not killing him. Now, Mike Ramsey spots the sniper with his binoculars. He reports it to the police, but rather than thank him, they question him suspiciously and then physically overpower him. Shortly after the game's 2 minute warning, which is the last 2 minutes of a game on the NFL, the SWAT team is given a green light to go after the sniper. Seeing that he's surrounded, the sniper opens fire, shooting randomly into the crowd. His shots cause a massive riot in which the panicked fans spill onto the field. Now, many security men, Coliseum personnel, and spectators are killed or wounded. Fleeing spectators are crushed or trampled underfoot while rushing towards exit tunnels. A few lose their footing while climbing down wall ivy trestles. Steve, Stu, Chris, Peggy, the pickpocket are among those shot, but Chris and Peggy survive. Mike escapes from police custody during the riot and is reunited with Peggy and her children once the stadium empties of people. Ultimately, the sniper shot by Peter, who, along with Chris and others of the members of the SWAT team, arrest him. Now, searching through his wallet, the officers learn the sniper's name, Carl Cook. Cook dies while in custody, revealing nothing about his intent. Button points out that although they know nothing about Cook, over the next few weeks, the media via newspapers and television will discover all the unknown details about Cook's life, what schools he attended, his nice mother, pet dog, former gym teacher, the body count, and question why the officers had to kill him. Peter sees Button's gunshot wound and wonders if a doctor had looked at it, to which Button replies, "It's no big deal." Peter then replies, "Don't be a hero, Sergeant. I'll drop you off at the hospital. Come on." Button reluctantly follows Peter, while Sam looks towards the empty football field, feeling sad that a lot of people died in the stadium. Peter drives Button to the hospital off screen, and the film ends. 150 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. $6.7 million budget, and that's all it made in the box office. So other key actors, of course, Andy Sedaris played the TV director with Robert Ginty, a very good young actor at the time, as the vendor. Larry Mendetti of Magna P.I. fame as a member of the SWAT team. Joanna Pettit in the TV version only. We'll get that in a second. And Branska Richmond as a bystander. and Susan Backline is a pretty blonde woman in the crowd. Now, released in 76, 2-Minute Warning was promoted as an entry into the disaster film genre, complete with an all-star cast attempting to survive an immense riot created by the sniper. Now, Joe Cap, again, played Charlie Tyler, and he drew a lot of viewers in Canada because, the former CFL star. The majority of the movie was filmed following the 1975 football season at Memorial Coliseum in LA. The game footage for the full stadium shots of the LA Coliseum was from a Pac-8 college football game between Stanford and USC, played on November 8th. Now, Universal Studios put a lot of interest in this movie and devised a gimmick where moviegoers were not allowed to enter the theater at the moment the football game's 2-minute warning began in the film. So no late entries. Another film with a similar disaster to Super Bowl theme, Black Sunday, was much better, was released the following April to decent reviews, but again, poor box office. Now, due to the film's explicit violence, because just like Scarface, a lot of people get killed here, and the uncomfortable detail of a homicidal sniper acting alone without apparent motivation, similar to the Tower Killer in Texas, NBC negotiated with Universal Studios to film additional scenes for its TV premiere in 78. The new scenes would detail an armed theft, with the sniper serving as a decoy so robbers could escape without detection. The additional scenes, totaling 40 minutes, were added for the film's TV showing, while 45 minutes of the original version were removed. Director Larry Pierce disowned the TV version, which credits editor Gene Palmer as director and Francisca Turner as writer. Both Palmer and Turner were involved in the creation of the TV version of 74's Earthquake, where that film was expanded by 730 minutes in the same method in order to show it over 2 nights. Turner also helped doctor David Lynch's Dune for TV for the teleplay. Now, when shown on network television, this version of 2-Minute Warning is often shown rather than the original theatrical release. The TV version had previously never been released to video and DVD. However, it did finally appear as an extra on the Blu-ray from Shout Factory on June 28, 2016. Of course, the big draw was the beautiful Joanna Pettit of Night Gallery fame. Now, 2-Minute Warning received negative reviews from critics, holds a 29% rating on Rotten Tomatoes from 14 reviews. Now, Roger Ebert gave the film a rating of 1 star out of 4, writing, "I knew going in what the movie's about. Few films have such blunt premises, and I knew 2-Minute Warning was supposed to be a thriller, not a social statement. But I thought perhaps the movie would at least include a little pop sociology to soften its bloodletting. Not a chance. It is cheerfully unashamed exploitation of our 2 great national preoccupations, pro football and guns." Richard E. Deere of the New York Times wrote that since the viewer is told nothing but a sniper's character, the efforts of the police to catch the sniper, all their ladder climbing and maneuvering, are no more exciting than watching a group of linesmen at work up a telephone pole. Of course, not NHL linesmen. Now, Gene Siskel of the Tribune in Chicago gave the film 2 stars out of 4 and wrote, "I'm sure the fastbuck artist who made this film justifies the mirror of society and its faceless killers, but that's just an excuse to make a picture that will hold appeal only for those who like to see other people blown away by high-powered rifles. This is a contemptible motion picture." Still gave it 2 stars. Arthur D. Murphy of Variety noted above-average plotting, acting, and direction, including one of the better mob scenes filmed in many years, make this movie watchable. Kevin Thomas of the LA Times called it a taut and terrific thriller and an example of superb film craftsmanship. Gary Arnold of the Washington Post called it a middling suspense thriller. That was a big word back in the 70s for reviewers, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Middling. With characters so sketchy and arbitrary that the victim's survivors might as well be determined by flips of the coin. But any movie that includes Heston, Cassavetes, Balson, Bridges, David Jansen, Jack Klugman, and Walter Pidgeon, it's well worth the of the aspect. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen this movie all the way through. I've seen some scenes and previews. All I can say is if it's bad, as some of my friends have told me, please avoid like the plague. Stay with the Black Sunday, because anything Robert Shaw did in the 70s was just tremendous. So if you like what we're doing here with our 1970s review podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Still Eclipse Week in New Brunswick and Maine, so enjoy the bargains if you're out there. And don't forget, when you celebrate the world, we celebrate each other as human beings. So we should be having Eclipse Day every day. It made us all join in humanity to see something that just God's creation, just beautiful. Thanks for listening. Bye.